Welcome, Game of Thrones fans. It's me, Anna.
I'm Mark.
And we are now doing Season 5 Q&A.
Q&A time. Alright, first off.
Announcements.
Well, it's more than a couple hours since the finale.
Yeah.
We ended up getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
History and Lore is uploading right now, I hope. I had to do 2 parts because I tried to do the whole thing in 1 part and it has failed twice on the upload. And it's an hour and 20 minute video. So it was like 8.5 hours just to have a failed upload, and I did it twice, so I'm just putting it in 2 parts. Hopefully that works. Now Anna.
Okay. So, we got 2 more pop figures. We have the White Walker that Jon killed and, was in the season finale for Season 2. So we can put him here. And then, we have Arya.
Arya Stark of Winterfell.
Looks Season 2-ish? Not Season 2-ish. Season 4-ish?
Yep, Season 4-ish.
So yeah. We got Arya. And I'm excited. Now we just need, everyone else.
Yeah, we got quite a few more to go.
Yeah. At least the rest of the Starks. And the Wolves. And the Dragons. And maybe Dany.
Okay. Just a small list.
Yeah. That is consisting of, yeah.
Alright. You ready for some questions?
Yay!
Yay!
More questions to make me think.
Well, one thing I'll bring up. Season 4 Q&A. Anna just rewatched it.
Yeah.
On the question for the who gets the end of the season badass moment. She was 100% correct on her prediction a full season ago, and she's not happy about that.
Why are my predictions so spot on? I don't like it.
So, but she was right.
I hate being right.
And she got to watch my little glance to the camera as she said, Jon Snow will get it.
Yeah. No,
so,
this is specifically what I said. Yeah, he needs one. And you looked right at the camera as I said that. I hate my predictions being right.
So anyway, I'm just going to grab my computer and go right through the questions that came under that comment. And there was a couple bonus ones because it's actually been a couple days since we watched it. And episode 10 is already posted, so I got a couple questions in there that we'll touch up on also. So, oh yeah, I'm wearing all blue because Michigan's in the Final Four tonight. They tip off in about 3.5 hours. And so, go blue. Most people probably don't care, but I do.
Fun fact.
Okay, we are going to start out with Paul Alvarado. He had like 4 questions. Well, we'll start right in with it.
Yep.
Did you see Jon murder coming at all?
No.
No.
No, I didn't. I saw Revenge and I'm like, what? Not Revenge. It was Traitor. I'm like, what? And then I saw, Alistair go, and I didn't even see the knife.
Did you know he stabbed him on that? Or did you realize when you thought he punched you also? Yeah, there was a few comments about that. Because a lot of people thought, Alistair punched him until he pulled the knife out.
I'm like, oh no.
Alright, and same question for me. Did I see it coming? I have to say, that was one thing I was spoiled on. Was Jon's death, because I did not watch the series until after season 6 was over, and there was a ton of buzz about it and never had HBO, so I just never watched it. Heard that it was a great show, but when Jon died, it was like the world stopped. Even though I didn't watch it, I heard all about Jon Snow dying, or not all about it, but I knew.
I lost all function.
I knew that he did, and I didn't know when or anything like that, but
when, how, or why.
It was that was spoiled for me upon my first watch, so I was surprised when it came, though. I was totally not even thinking of that at the time when I was watching it. So, I was spoiled. And that'll lead into a question later on, too, also. So, Next question. What do you predict will become of Theon and Sansa? Could they survive that jump?
Well, depends on how much snow falls. Because, I mean, like, in Frozen, there's, like, 20 feet of, like, freshly fallen snow, so it was, like, jumping into a pillow. But, I mean, I don't know.
Doesn't really show how much snow is down there.
No.
But it has been snowing for a while in Winterfell.
Yeah. So, who knows? At worst, maybe a broken leg or two.
All right. What do you predict? Wrong one. How do you feel about Dany being back with the Dothraki? What do you think's going to come about that?
I was mentioning Calazar's, like,
earlier
before.
in the episode. Yeah, I know.
Of course. The
you were
episode.
talking about something.
Yep.
Um.
I don't. Well.
Because if you remember right back in season 2, after most of the Dothraki left, there was only about 30 of them that followed her. And she set the Blood Riders out.
Mm-hmm.
It was other calls that killed the one and sent his head back with the hair chopped off. Because he was following a woman and not a call. So how do you think these Dothraki will treat her?
I don't know whether, like, they know who she is.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't know.
But she dropped the ring. It's like leading a trail.
Right. So somebody can find her.
If they find the ring. 'Cause, I mean, well, surely they'll see the large patch of bones and think,
hey, Drogon must have been here.
yep, let's check the area.
There's burnt grass and bones. Well, plus the way they circled around her.
Yeah, which would
the horse tracks would definitely lead you to the center, which would make that ring very findable, I guess.
Yeah, smaller area.
Yep.
And I said something about the Dothraki Sea too.
Yes, you did.
Her being
Because you knew she was going north and
Sea.
you kept looking over at the maps. You were like, well,
Dothraki
she's going
Sea.
up north. That's the Dothraki Sea. Yeah, you can see that in that video. You keep looking over. Oh, she's up. Yay. So, you were spot on that. You pay attention.
Sometimes I don't like being spot on. At all.
Why do you think Arya's punishment was losing her sight?
She stabbed his eyes.
Yeah, you mentioned something about that, about how it was interesting when...
No, she stabbed his eyes and now she's blind. But yeah, I highly doubt any of you watched Avatar, like the Last Airbender, the TV series, but like one of the characters in season 2, her name's Toph. She's blind, but she's probably one of the best fighters in their little group. She was called the Blind Bandit. That's the episode that she was introduced.
Aha. The Blind Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might be another Arya question in here at some point in time that you might be able to dive into that little topic, but I'm going right down the list. So, from, I'll butcher this name. I'm not even going to try. 5th one down the list if you go to the comment section.
5th one down.
Will Davos ever learn of Shireen's true fate?
Highly doubt it.
And if he does, what do you think he'd do? But yeah, I don't see why he would find. But if he did find out about it, I mean, what would he do?
Best guess is he's gonna be really times like 18 bajillion. Really mad at Melisandre. So
it wouldn't be good for Melisandre if he finds out.
no.
Okay.
That'd be one more name off the list.
The Hound is wondering, were you hoping Stannis would take Winterfell and kill that psycho Ramsay? Because after the Shireen thing, you don't like...
I don't necessarily like either side. It's kind of hard to, pick a side if you hate both of them.
Right.
It's kind of like now with the White Walkers and the wall.
Team White Walker. I like that comment. Never thought of it that way.
Team White Walker or Team Wall?
Go take out Alistair and Ollie, right?
Yeah, but then again, the whole of Westeros will, you know. Yeah. It's kind of hard to decide.
So,
Which...
no, I mean, I always have to say with Stannis, though, the Lord of Light has obviously proven it is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a question later on in this thing about that also, but Stannis, you didn't like him after that whole decision thing, but he thought that that was the only way.
Mm-hmm.
And his main goal was to be able to defeat the White Walkers, because that's where the real war is. But in order to do that, he needed the sacrifice.
Yes.
And he has seen the power of the Lord of Light.
True.
So there's lots of argument to be like, you know, it's terrible.
But there's always another choice.
Yeah, there always is.
Otherwise, it's not a choice.
He didn't feel that it was a choice, though. You could tell that he didn't want to do it. He felt that he had to do it because that was the only way they were going to be able to march on Winterfell. Turned out it didn't work out.
No, everyone.
So it did turn into a bad thing. But on those eyes, would you like to see him kill Ramsay?
I don't know. I just
Still don't know. Both gray characters.
gray.
Fading to black.
Very dark.
Okay. Alright, where are we at? Alright, next question is from Shockwave11. And this is, how does Anna feel about Dad changing the order of Season 5, Episode 9? Did she like having the Dany Drogon scene before the Shireen sacrifice scene?
Yeah, trust me, I would have barely acknowledged it.
The Dany stuff.
The Dany scene if Shireen came before. Because Shireen's just...
Not a huge character, but she's all good. in
She's not
the
a
area of
single
a
bad
lot
bone
of
in her body.
yeah, in the area of great characters, she is white. She is good.
She's pure.
So, on that one, I want to thank Harundi Vibakshi and Paul Alvarado. The night before we filmed that one, I had sent them questions and comments about, as I was re-editing that episode, to change those around, just asking their opinion. Sent them that message the night before I went to sleep, and by morning you guys both got back to me saying it sounded like a good idea, so I went ahead and I just wanted a little feedback before I actually did that, and you guys gave me the feedback. Totally appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And we did. There was a few people in the comment section saying the order was messed up and everything, but overall it seemed like a positive response on that, so thank everybody for all that stuff. Alright, on to the next one. Mentros GOT. Now Jon is dead. Do you think we will still follow the story at the Wall? And if so, who would take the story further? Especially considering Sam just took off to become a Meister. So if the character's left at the Wall, I guess, do you think, I mean, they're probably going to keep the Wall because it's the White Walker storyline.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to lead that storyline? I can throw out some Sir Alistair. I mean, ranking-wise, he's probably up there. It's a possibility of Ed. Ed's probably the closest one to Jon.
Yeah, there's Ed. And
You have Davos and Melisandre
yeah.
up there also right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
There's Ollie, but
he's young.
Ollie.
He would be going along with Alistair Thorne.
Yeah.
If he takes it, Ollie would be a closer character to him, I would assume, because they were both involved. Or could any of the wildlings maybe take over that arc?
Don't know.
Because they're all right next to the Wall, and they know why they went through the Wall. They went through the Wall because of Jon.
Yeah. No,
So-
definitely cause a revolt once they hear the news. If
So
they
could
hear the news.
maybe Tormund or
Tormund. That's what I was thinking.
That's what you were thinking. So what do you think? Who would, given those options, I guess, who do you think could carry the storyline up there? Because we know it is an important storyline. They can't just abandon that storyline.
It's the wall storyline. I would say the three possibilities would probably be, you know, Tormund, and then Alistair, and then we have Ed. Those would probably be the three.
The top three choices to carry that storyline.
Because, yeah.
All right.
Or we could just have an entirely new character that we
introduce a new character. Well, as we've been going through the season, new characters are slowing down a little bit. Although you'll notice the storyline moves along a lot quicker now because we don't have to have all the character development of new characters.
The character development, the backstories.
We are at that point in the series where things start moving along pretty quickly. Alright, Drew Thrasher. This is a two-part question because Izzard Clips also has a follow-up question on Drew's question. So, Drew Thrasher, do you think Melisandre's Lord of Light god is a force of good or evil?
They are like the ultimate gray, because a god, like, even in, like, our world, like, I'm just gonna relate this to, like, ancient Greece with all the Greek gods.
Okay.
Because, like, sometimes they can be good and then sometimes they can be bad. Like, there's not all good or all bad gods.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
So, neither good nor evil with the god. And do you think it's possible that Melisandre is misreading everything in her visions?
She probably doesn't necessarily misread it, but she manipulates it.
Okay. All right, and let me see. Let's go to Izzard Clip's question. Building on Drew's earlier question, here's a paraphrase quote from a totally unconnected TV show, Galactica. Assuming that's true, how do we know this force is in our best interest in mind? How do you know God is on your side? I don't. God isn't on anyone's side. God is a force of nature beyond good or evil. Do you think this could apply to the supernatural things in Game of Thrones world?
Yeah. Kind of. Things a force of nature.
And overall, you know.
Yeah.
I think we had a question a little bit ago, kind of like that. Angie808, this is a related question, but I'm going to go through it anyway. Now that Jon is dead, will Alistair be appointed Lord Commander? If so, what will be the fate of the wildlings that Jon let through the wall? And Ed, Davos, and Ghost, if Alistair is appointed Lord Commander? You remember when during the election it was Jon and Alistair neck and neck, and it was Aemon that gave Jon the last vote. So Alistair would be probably the next one appointed.
Well, Ed would probably, I mean, he's still a man of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
He was just, you know, a friend. I don't think, he'd probably be, no, he is going to be very angry.
Oh, yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Right.
Ghost, I don't know. 'Cause, like, last time Stark got killed, you know, Braywyn died.
Yeah.
And that was kind of sad. And then, I don't know, because it's not like Sam took Ghost with him,
right.
And Gilly and Baby
And Sam would be the other one Ghost is really seems to be attached to.
Yeah. Lithgow kind of runs away and then finds Sam, Gilly, and baby Sam on
They
their
all
track.
head south.
Yeah.
All right, so what will the fate of the wildlings be if Alistair? Do you think he will leave them alone if that is the point?
No chance.
Or is he going to do what he can to get rid of them?
The second one.
The second one. Okay. D. Potter. Episode 10 was a turning point for our little Miss Arya. Some saw the death of Mara Trant as badass start to her revenge tour. And others saw it as a glimpse of her turning into something dark and unexpected. Since Arya is your favorite character, what do you think it is? Will she end up being good or evil?
There is no good or evil. There's like no bad guys or good guys. It's like guys.
You think she'll be fueled by doing some evil things, or do you think she'll be...
Didn't you? You kind of just...
No, I just kind of sat, I was thinking of how I was wording that question. Fueled by evil, all that kind of stuff, you know, just wanting to go out and kill everybody on her list?
Well, obviously she wants revenge.
Right. Or do you think she'll just be good? I mean, she's blind right now. So we really don't know where the storyline's going, but...
Yeah.
That was a pretty sadistic way she killed Mara Trant.
Though, he did, you know... One of the reasons Ned died.
Yeah.
And, you know...
He killed Syrio Farrell.
That too.
He beat Sansa.
She didn't know about...
She didn't know about that. That was after Arya was gone, but...
way back at season
way
1.
back, yes. So yeah, Mara Trant wasn't a good guy, so...
No. He had it coming.
Had it coming. So she's gonna be good or evil? I mean, obviously, okay.
Somewhere in between.
Make the line. Is she right in the middle, or is she leaning this way, leaning that way?
She's middle.
Middle?
Because, I mean...
Straight up middle.
Middle.
Okay.
Because, like, she has, you know, good intentions, kind of. She has good...
She has bad intentions for good reasons.
Yeah. Bad intentions for good reasons.
Oh.
It's revenge.
Okay. Targaryen Wolf. To me, it seemed they were setting up Jon's character to lead the fight against the White Walkers. Now that he's dead,
Nope.
I told you there was going to be a lot of questions regarding that, so we may be repeating some stuff, but now that he's dead, who will take up that position? Who is suited for the task? Sir Alistair and the rest of the Night's Watch seem to be very close-minded. They would rather have the wildlings die beyond the wall, become whites and bolstering the Night King army, than to ever let the wildlings see the wall. This is not progressive thinking. I frankly am nervous at this point. What do you think?
None of them. Ghost.
Ghost is going to lead the Night's Watch?
Yes. Ghost for Lord
well,
Commander.
that would be interesting.
Ghost is probably the most well-suited.
Okay, here is another one from Film Lahabar. I've messed the pronunciation up once before, and he sent me the translation. Movie Lover from Germany, I believe, if I remember right. Did you understand Ollie's and Sir Alistair's motives for Jon's murder?
I understand, because I mean, Sir Alistair didn't want the wildlings to come through, and he didn't think Jon was suited to be the Lord Commander, and Ollie was vengeful because the wildlings killed his parents.
Right.
And the entire village. So yeah.
So yeah, you do understand their motives.
I understand their motives. Just, it doesn't justify what they did.
Okay. And there's a little follow-up on that. Did they do the right thing considering their limited knowledge about wildlings and White Walkers?
Did
Neither
they
one of
do
them
the
ha-
right thing?
Neither one of neither one of them have seen a White Walker. I'll say that.
True.
Alistair has fought wildlings.
Yeah, but what about the other, men that went to
Hardhome?
Hardhome?
There was only a couple of them. Ed went. It was Ed, John. What other Night's Watch guys?
I assume there were like other people there.
A few of the wildlings, like Tormund went up, and
Yeah, but it's not like they're gonna listen to a wildling.
right.
So I assume, I highly doubt any of the other people that were in the group that, where that happened, saw the White Walkers. And can't wait to see the White Walkers come and just kind of kill all of them. Because I am siding
Kind of siding with the White Walkers.
Yes.
Nice. All right.
Right now, at least they're kind of justified.
Okay.
And kill my second favorite character.
Andre M. Question for Anna. What seemed to be most disturbing and emotional for you to watch? Cersei's Walk of Atonement, the Red Wedding Massacre, Shireen's death, or Jon Snow's murder? Out of those four, what is probably the worst one?
I mean, Cersei's Walk of Judgment or whatever that's.
The Walk of Shame,
The
or
Walk
Walk
of
of
Shame.
Atonement.
Yeah, that didn't necessarily affect me.
No, you don't like Cersei, so.
No.
Isn't she number one? Yeah, she's number one.
And the other three hit very hard because Shireen, she was probably the best character, the person.
The goodest.
The goodest. Is that even a word?
No, it's not, but seemed appropriate.
Yes, she's the goodest character in the show. She was. So yeah.
Shireen the hardest?
No, well,
Or-
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, the
because-
Red Wedding, there
the
was
Red
so
Wedding.
many. There were so many characters. None of them were on your fave list.
Yeah, but there were so many
but there were so
characters.
many, and they were all good characters
They're all
too.
good characters. We had
And
Kat,
then-
Rob, Talissa, Baby Unborn Ned. And then there was Graywin, who Arya watched.
Yup.
I know she wanted to help him, and then the soldiers came, and I'm like, no. And then Jon's death, which it looked like he was punched, but instead he was stabbed. He was stabbed by his own men.
Out of nowhere.
It was nowhere with false hope that his uncle was there.
Yeah, the setup to that one was really bad. Mention hadn't been. People wanted to point out. If we didn't watch the pre-credits or the preview. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Depends on how we'll review it and see if we want to do the recap portion before we watch an episode. This one I didn't want to because they brought up Benjen a ton, actually, in the.
Of course they did.
So I was like, you know what? I don't want that in there.
Yeah, good call. But
then also there was kind of saying something. It was like, yeah, we had all this anticipation when we saw it about Benjen coming back, and then they were stabbed in the gut too because there was no Benjen.
yeah, so betrayal, and burned at the stake. There was stabbings, burned at the stake, slit throats. Why do you
Probably the 3 roughest scenes of the series so far, through 5.
pretty much
Putting a lot of thought into this. That's a good question.
have to put a lot of thought?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, no, Shireen's... Yeah, there's Shireen. She's a secondary character, but she's Shireen.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jon, my second favorite character in the entire series since, like, day one.
Right.
After Arya, because Arya. But
But you love that scene in episode 2 when Arya and Jon were hugging when Jon gave her a needle, and you were instantly went to liking both those characters
Yes.
at that point in time.
And, like, he was betrayed and stabbed in the gut. Probably, and died of, loss of blood loss.
Well, yeah, he was bleeding a lot.
Yeah, it was a...
You saw it just
here.
rolling out.
And then there's Red Wedding, where Graywin died, Rob died, Talissa died, Kat died.
Baby Ned.
Baby unborn Ned. See, stabbing, also stabbing, slit throat, arrows.
Roose with the final stab on Rob.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What was that worst moment? Game of Thrones is all ups and downs, and those are definitely all the downs, or the biggest of downs.
Let's see. Don't know. Cause they all affected. Cause the Red Wedding, I was shocked and very shocked.
You didn't move for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Before you
And
actually
then
flinched in that one.
And then Shireen, it was shocked, anger, sadness.
Anger.
Grief. And then there's Jon's death was shock, fury, shock, sadness, confusion.
Saw tons of confusion on your face on that one.
Confusion. I don't even know what the outcomes of Ghost is.
Well, maybe we'll find out here in the next episode. I always say that. It's my go-to. When I don't want to tell you anything, I just say, maybe we'll find out in the next episode.
It's vague and unnerving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know. I mean...
You can go all equal, I guess.
All equal. Well, except for Cersei's thing.
Well, except for the Cersei. Yeah.
I wasn't really fazed by that.
I remember the other question. That must have been up on from the episode 10. Okay, well, we'll go all equal. If there's
All
ever
equal.
a point
Other
where
than
you
Cersei.
decide one's better than or more heartbreaking, we'll just bring it up at the time. You
Mhm.
put a lot of thought into that, though.
I put a lot of thought into it.
And relived the. I saw you. You're feeling for some of them scenes again as you're talking about them. Let me see. Globster. Anna, have you had any nightmares or dreams about characters or scenes from the show that may have made an impression on you?
Well, not necessarily.
No.
I mean, there was that one time when it's a very, very weird dream. Like, I don't know, and I wasn't necessarily relating to it. It just, mentioned Danny, and it was very confusing because I was, at school with one of my friends, and then we went to this bus garage, and then we were just going to another town for, a game from some sport, and, then I had this weird vision inside of a dream. I don't know what to call it. And, there was this weird puffer fish or eel or something like that. It was glowing, and it was, blue. And then, a very, very blurry figure, which was Dani. It was very blurry, and she had the one dark blue dress on from, I forget what episode that was from. But it was that, and she was very blurry, and then I came out of the weird vision inside the dream, and then actually in my dream, I'm like, was that Dani? And then after other stuff in the dream, and that was it. There's that, and then after I woke up, I'm like, why this dream? Because, I don't know why that happened. It was a very random dream, because it wasn't necessarily, I don't know what to call it, because it was very weird. I was on a tour bus, something like that. It was very weird.
Yeah, a lot of times dreams are a little weird.
And I had a vision inside of a dream, and I actually thought inside of a dream. Yeah, I didn't acknowledge it was a dream, which is kind of weird, even though I kind of knew that it was kind of a dream. And it was just, it was a very weird dream.
Very.
So,
Sounds
I guess, kind of, it was Dany, and she was swimming with a weird glowing pufferfish. That was blue. Then it turned into this weird, it was a red, and then it turned into, like, this red, like, eel thing. And then she swam away, and then it kind of turned back into the weird blue pufferfish. Like, everything inside it was blurry. Like, everything else in the dream was clear, and then, like, in the vision thing, everything was blurry. It was a really weird dream. And it happened, like, a while ago, like, a month or two ago.
Month or two. So yeah, we're probably in season 3, 4-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. Okay, Morphe versus Fisher. So does she think Stannis is officially the worst parent in Game of Thrones? And there are some bad ones in there.
Yes, very, very bad parents. Because, I mean...
You had Tywin.
Tywin.
Walder Frey.
Walder Frey. Craster.
Craster.
Yeah.
And Stannis.
Stannis. Let's see. I mean... And then there's characters like, you know, Cersei, who... She loves her... She's a bad character in general, but she cared about her children and the children's welfare. You know, that... But she's like, Cersei would be a decent parent, I assume. I mean, she did bad things, but
it's all in the name of her children.
Yeah.
I mean, she's looking out for her children.
Yeah.
She was even trying her darndest to back up Joffrey and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she knew what Joffrey was.
Yeah.
From those conversations with Sansa she had.
Yeah.
You know, about Joffrey. You could tell she knew Joffrey was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But she still backed him up.
Yeah. So, and then there's the other parents, like Craster, who is Craster.
Yeah, Craster was bad.
Craster was horrible. He sacrificed
well, there's also,
his sons. He sacrificed his sons. He married and had weird incest babies with his daughters. I don't even... In, like... Very self-explanatory why he's a horrible parent. Slash husband. So yeah. And then there's other parents, like...
It's Sam's dad.
Sam's
you remember
dad.
back to the story on why Sam went to the wall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was a very horrible... He disowned Sam because he was a nerd.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a very general sense, he disowned his own son because his son was a nerd instead of a jock.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it, too. So, is Stannis the worst? Or you really have strong feelings towards Craster?
Craster is probably the worst parent in the history of the Game of Thrones.
Okay.
The worst parent.
But
Stannis would probably be somewhere up there. He literally sacrificed his own child. Why wouldn't he be?
Alright, next question from Morphe versus Fisher. Did you feel a little bad for Cersei during the Walk of Shame?
A little bad?
Yep, for Cersei.
I mean, kinda, because I mean, like I said, nothing says religion like public nudity and shaming. Multiple times. And I mean, I get it. She did lots of bad stuff. I mean, she's #1 hate list. But kind of was kind of necessary.
Right.
'Cause I mean, she did get injured. Literally everyone was calling her lots of names.
Yes, lots of names.
the other queen regent who, if got back to all of her power,
She
yeah.
might have some things.
Mhm.
All
And
right.
then I can sympathize with the hair cutting thing, cause like
Don't touch the hair.
my hair.
I too
Probably
can
is-
sympathize for the hair cutting. I would
Yes.
be a little upset if somebody.
I'd be furious. Not upset. I'd be furious. Cause trust me, if somebody would either try to, without my permission, and like try to prank me, they'd be dead in under a second. 'Cause, yeah,
Don't touch the hair.
no one touches the hair.
So you felt bad for Cersei's hair.
Yes, I felt bad for Cersei's hair. Because I mean, hair.
She has some nice hair. It's a lot shorter now.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone just keeps getting their hair cut.
Yeah. Last question was Jon's death worse than the Red Wedding? But we pretty much tied
Pretty
those
much
ones
equal.
up. Yeah. In that previous question. Okay, now that's all of your questions.
That's all my questions.
I have the one question I'm scrolling back down to from Harundi Vibakshi. And you gave me a couple tough questions to really put good
Yeah.
words to.
He told me them. They're very tough.
Yeah, I told her the other night about these questions. So I will do my best at answering these questions. What made me decide to undertake this project with Anna? I will say my own experience in watching the show had something to do with it. As I said earlier, I did not watch the show until after season 6. I was spoiled by Jon's death just because everybody knew about it. When I watched it, I went through the first couple seasons entirely too fast without being able to pick up all the details. About halfway through season 5, I started only watching one episode at a time, and I would go to Trev's Chan for his review and discussions about the episodes, just so I could gather more information out of them. And I did that through the rest of season 6 before watching season 7, obviously, last summer. So my experience in watching it, I then started watching reactions and saw how the reactors, especially with a moderator, can get so much more out of the show, and being forced to watch it slow and absorb everything. And then Anna, I just knew she would like it because the things she's interested in. She loves reading books. She likes fantasy elements. I knew she was going to love the dragons. I mean,
I have a giant plushy, Goldie.
so the idea of watching this with Anna, I thought was spectacular because one thing,
It's never been done.
these are going to be on, well, no, they're going to be on YouTube forever. I don't see YouTube just closing shop by any means, and as long as I have a channel. These are memories we have recorded and documented. I can always go back, and it's been a cool experience so far. We still got a couple seasons to go. Look forward to all that kind of stuff. But there is documented, memories, really. And I'm actually quite proud of them. So those were what made me decide to do it. His next question, what, if any, were your initial concerns? From how Anna would respond to the adult themes of the show and its complex narrative, or to how your reaction series might be received by the YouTube viewing audience? I'll start with the Anna portion. The adult themes, it's pretty much exactly as I expected. Right, in season 1, she covered her eyes every time. I expected that. We even skipped the one little finger scene back in season 1. There was that one quite graphic scene, but I explained to her what happened during that scene and everything. We just fast forwarded it, I believe. That was a while ago. But as the show has progressed, she doesn't cover her eyes anymore for any of the nudity scenes or anything like that.
Trying to get used
Because
to
she's immersed into the show. Those scenes are just that way because that's the way the show is. It's not a shock factor to her by any means, I don't believe. So that pretty much is when it's expected. Complex narrative. She's picked up on more stuff than I thought she would. Honestly. She catches stuff that still surprises me as we're watching this, so.
Yeah, like you
I think,
hadn't even noticed the whole, when Pod was passing the one girls and they were laughing and giggling.
You noticed it right off. Yeah, I didn't notice until you said something. That was just kind of a little background thing that she picked up on that. Yeah. It's happened many times through this series where she surprises me, so she's
Experience deal.
totally handling this. Now the hard part was how it may be received by the YouTube viewing audience. And we still get comments of, why are you letting her watch this show? She's too young. All that kind of stuff. And I never responded to any of those comments.
Yeah.
If I were to respond to any of those comments, my response would be, why don't you watch 4 or 5 episodes, including the discussions, especially the discussions, and then come back to me with a comment. Because if somebody commented, hey, I watched 5 or 6 episodes and watched everything, I don't think she should be watching. I may respond to something like that, but usually the comments come up around the big episodes, because the big episodes get more views, because the normal fans, the ones that are watching this Q&A, I don't expect any of those people that wrote those comments to even watch this Q&A. I really don't. I always give a heart to the comments that say, when I first tuned in, I thought she was too young, but now that I've watched them, I think it's great. I like those comments also. But I knew there was going to be some backlash. I didn't know how much. I didn't realize so many people would be watching. We get way more views than I thought we would.
I didn't know that it was possible to get this many views.
So I appreciate all that. I mean, the people that have followed us through this, thank you so much. It's great, especially seeing the comments. I don't always get back to all the comments, but I read every single one. And I try to read every comment to Anna that doesn't talk about the show as far as spoiler. I'll skip those, obviously, but she gets to hear all the comments from you guys. So,
yes.
Oh, I'm kind of touching on that. How is Anna's progress through the last 50 episode compared to my initial expectations? I have talked about that a little bit here already.
Yeah.
She's done great. Can't wait for the next 2 seasons.
I can't.
And then when season 8, she's going to have to wait for season 8 because we will be done, and she is going to have to wait for season 8. So that'll be fun at the end of season 7, and she's going to have to wait.
Yes, I'm gonna definitely have to wait. Probably read the books in that point in time, and
You got the first book done. Got 4 more to
probably
go.
reread it because at least the last half I kind of.
You were speed reading.
I was speed reading. I wanted to get done before it was due because I did it for a school project. So I was kind of speed reading through some. So at least I'd reread the last half.
Yeah,
Probably catch a lot more.
Right. So anyway, she has. I thought she would do well with this show, and she's surpassed what I thought she would be able to handle and comprehend. Parts of me, of course, plug that in. Parts of me would. Cora. There are parts of me that wish we wouldn't have recorded everything. Sometimes I think Anna bottles some of those hard scenes out. Like she don't want to cry in front of the camera.
Well, I've done it.
You fight. Yeah, you have. Yeah, the Red Wedding. Yeah, you had tears. Shireen, you had tears coming down. But you do fight it. I can tell you fight it. And that's because of the camera. So on that note, it would be nice not to have the camera doing this. But at the same time, it's making memories too. been just a fun project that we look forward to doing. And in between recording, we talk about the show a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sadly, I can't necessarily talk about it with my friends because I mean, I'd honestly want to have my friends all watch it.
And you want to be the person sitting over you
yes,
while they're watching
knowing what's gonna happen.
To see how they react, right?
Pretty much. I probably wouldn't record it, though. I might set up secret cameras somewhere in the room for certain episodes. just to keep. That might be fun. Just certain episodes. First
as long as they didn't know, because if they knew there was a camera there, they'd know it was there for a reason. It would have to be. It would have to be secret. But another thing. Some of me kind of wishes we recorded this like Hogwarts did. Record everything and then release. But then doing it that way takes away. I like the way we record it because we post an episode. We don't have a good schedule. I never know when we're going to find time to do this stuff. But we'll record something. Then we sit on it for a couple days and we get to read the comments about each episode before going into the next episode. There have been questions that we asked during the conversations, and so I totally appreciate that. I feel bad when we go a week, sometimes 2 weeks, and we don't get a chance to record. I know you guys like the regular uploads. We all do that watch reaction videos. But yeah, I like the Hogwarts idea, recording everything. I like the way we do it, though. So, anyway, I think that is everything. That's all the questions that were in the question thing back from that episode 9. So, our next thing we will be recording will be episode 1. We also want to do episode 2, and then we got a couple fun videos after episode 2. It's weird that we can't do them in between seasons.
Just they let in spoilers.
So we have to wait till after episode 2. So we're going to try to do those fairly quick. And then we may take a little break after episode 2, I don't know, to do the fun videos. And it's always good to take a break from this and let a lot of things process, a week off or so. Even though she'll want to watch episode 3 after episode 2, but oh well, you know. Yeah, you always give me those dirty looks.
Well, I
don't think we're going to do a break like we have been, the mid-season break, and it's kind of because of the funny videos. I want to get to the point where we do the funny videos, because those are fun. So.
Yeah, but I honestly hope we get this done before dock season.
Yeah, but we won't.
At least
it's snowing out today, and it's the last day of March. I probably have about 2 weeks before the ice melts off the lake, and then I'm gonna get
2
really
weeks
busy.
and 17 episodes. So that's 14 days.
That would be ambitious, Anna.
Very ambitious, but that's probably one of the reasons my Pottermore says. I've taken the Pottermore house quiz multiple times. And every time, I never once got Gryffindor. But first time I did it, I've gotten like 2 Hufflepuffs, and then the rest of the time it was pretty equal between Ravenclaw and Slytherin. So ambition and intelligence.
Yeah. Well, we'll do what we can to get as much done as possible. But once dock season happens, what we'll probably do is when we record, they'll just automatically be a double episode recording session. So if it is a week and a half before we can watch again, at least there's 2 episodes that I can edit. In the editing, I'm always doing that at nighttime when I should be sleeping anyway. I lose a lot of sleep editing.
Dad edits while I read.
Oh, actually, I missed that question. Globster had a sec. One more question, and that was to me also, and I was just holding off to the other questions to read it. What is the preparation like for each episode?
Well, we normally discuss, like, what happened in the last episode.
Right. But what I do is I watch a lot of reaction videos prior to every one we watch.
Do you know,
and
like,
I go through all the comment sections. So I'm reading the comments on things maybe I've missed when I watched the show. But yeah, I like to watch. I usually spend probably a good 3 hours, I would say, watching different videos and just getting the mental notes how to handle each episode. And then we record. And then it usually takes about 4 hours to edit the videos. A lot of time uploading. I have a cheap Walmart Black Friday computer that I blame a lot of things on. If I had a better computer, it might upload faster, but they're slow uploading. So that, I think, is the last question.
Okay.
And we're gonna shut her down because the hope is to get episode 1 in before Michigan plays, and they're playing in 2.5 hours. So if we're gonna do this, we need to hurry up.
Yep.
So we're gonna cut it out for now. Hope everybody enjoyed the Q&A, and we will see you for episode 1.
Bye.
We'll see ya.